Welcome to the deep dive. You asked us to find some real guidance, maybe a genuine blueprint for ethical living and for success that could actually hold up in this, well, this incredibly volatile, fast-moving world we're in. You wanted a shortcut to clarity, without the usual information overload.
And we think we've found something. It's from a source that's, well, it's almost impossibly old, yet it feels surprisingly fresh.
Yeah.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into excerpts related to the Thirukkural.
Right, the Thirukkural. This is a 2,000-year-old Tamil classic. I mean, a really foundational text that promises to be a transformative guide for vibrant and successful living.
Huh.
What's remarkable, I think, is that we're treating something so ancient as, like, immediate practical advice for right now.
Well, what's fascinating here really is the sheer endurance of this guide. It survived 2 millennia. And it's because the underlying philosophy, it seems, addresses these universal human concerns. We're looking at a contemporary presentation of it, the Kural one, that kind of strips away maybe the historical baggage and positions it as a relevant moral compass for daily decisions, steady guidance, in the 21st century.
So the big promise here is transformation, ethical living, and meaningful success. Our mission, then, for this deep dive is pretty simple. Let's try to extract the core structure. Let's understand what specific areas of life these, 1,080 life lessons actually cover.
Exactly. What do you need to know to adopt this wisdom right now?
Okay, let's unpack this, right? Let's start with the sheer volume, 1,080 lessons. That sounds like information overload. It sounds like the very thing you, our listener, are trying to avoid.
It does sound like a lot, yeah.
So how is this huge amount of wisdom packaged so that you can actually absorb it quickly?
Well, this is where the genius of the text's original structure comes in, and it's amplified by the modern presentation we looked at. We're not dealing with, long chapters of prose.
Oh.
We're dealing with couplets. They're 2-line verses. Incredibly tight, self-contained. The sources call them 1,080 bite-sized reflections.
Bite-sized. Okay, so the content itself is poetry, these couplets, not dense philosophical essays.
Yeah.
Why is that structure so important, especially for, enduring moral guidance?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, using verse, these couplets, it ensures memorability and clarity.
Ah, okay.
Think of it like ancient information architecture. Each couplet is like a standalone moral unit. It's designed for quick consumption, contemplation, very high insight density. It resists the kind of bloat, the fluff we see in maybe a lot of contemporary self-help books.
That accessibility point feels really crucial, because if it were trapped in archaic, dense language, it would just be a historical text, something for academics.
Precisely. And the regions we reviewed, they really emphasize that these ancient couplets are presented in direct, modern language. This is key.
Right.
The text has been deliberately translated, structured to make sure that you, the curious learner, can get at these profound principles without hitting, historical or linguistic walls.
So it stays relevant.
Yeah, it's designed to be something you can carry with you kind of through every stage of life.
It's like timeless wisdom made immediately relevant. It respects the pace of modern life.
And indeed. The age of this text, 2,000 years old, a Tamil classic, combined with this direct bite-sized packaging, it just suggests the underlying principles are truly universal. They transcend time. The format itself, you could argue, is a direct solution to our modern problem of, attention deficit and just constant information noise.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Because this isn't just a sort of high-level abstract philosophy, is it?
No, not at all.
The Thirukkural apparently offers insight into specific, real-life challenges, like across the whole spectrum of human experience. It sounds like a comprehensive, integrated ethical roadmap.
That integration, I think that's the core takeaway from this part. The material we looked at is very explicit about the breadth of categories covered.
Okay, like what?
Well, it moves seamlessly from the internal to the external. So you see guidance on character and conscience.
Right, the inner stuff.
But then also on leadership, discipline, justice, and personal growth, the outward actions and systems.
Okay, I have to push back on that a bit. How realistic is it for an ancient guide to offer, sound counsel on both my private conscience and public justice or leadership today? Don't those areas sometimes demand different things, maybe even contradictory approaches?
That's a really important question, and it speaks directly to the sort of intention of the text. It seems to avoid that contradiction by insisting on this integrated code.
Integrated code?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, the answer seems to be that your character and conscience aren't just optional extras for your leadership. They're the foundation. The Thirukkural suggests that if your internal traits, your ethics are weak, then your external actions, whether that's leadership or justice or whatever, they will inevitably fail or, cause harm.
Ah, so it demands consistency. You can't just, like, put on your leader hat and ignore your personal ethics.
Exactly. You can't compartmentalize. True success, especially leadership, requires that your internal moral compass extends sort of flawlessly to your public decision-making.
Okay.
It implies that true, lasting success, the kind that holds up under scrutiny, needs that consistency across all those domains.
So for you, the listener, seeking clarity in this fast-changing world, the text basically provides a non-negotiable moral compass that covers everything from, personal finances to civic duty.
That seems to be the idea, the whole spectrum of human endeavor.
That makes the guide incredibly powerful, actually. It forces you, the individual, to realize you're the bottleneck. Your external actions are only ever as good as your internal ethical framework.
That's a very succinct way to put it, yeah. It ensures that things like discipline and justice are administered from a place of strong character, not just, what's convenient or expedient at the time.
Right. Okay, let's pivot then to the ultimate goal. What does the Thirukkural promise? What's the transformative outcome for people who really dedicate themselves to these 1,080 lessons? What are these pillars of true lasting success it talks about?
Okay, so there seem to be 4 core inspirations mentioned, and they're sequential, which feels vital.
Sequential, okay.
The foundation, number 1, is ethical living.
Right. Start with ethics.
Once that's established, it leads to mental clarity, which in turn provides the bedrock for emotional resilience.
Okay, ethics, clarity, resilience.
And only after cultivating all 3 of those can you achieve the final goal, meaningful success.
Wow. Okay, that sequence, it directly contradicts a lot of modern self-help, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which often promises success or wealth first, and maybe suggests the ethics or clarity will follow, or maybe aren't even necessary.
Exactly.
This guide puts ethics absolutely first and success last.
That contrast is, I think, the key insight here. The text lays out this clear cause and effect. It prioritizes internal cultivation over just external acquisition.
Right.
Modern approaches often focus on the tactics of success, the how-to, which change constantly. The Thirukkural focuses on the foundation, the who you are, which it argues is constant.
So achieving that meaningful success is entirely dependent on building up mental clarity and emotional resilience first. Why is resilience specifically mentioned there as a precursor to success?
Well, if you look at the implications, resilience is necessary because life will inevitably throw setbacks at you, right?
True.
Success built just on external factors, money, status, whatever, it's brittle, it can disappear. But success built on inner strength and clarity, knowing who you are, why you act ethically, that's sustainable.
Ah, I see.
The text directly links success to that inner strength. Meaningful success, in this context, is the kind that can't just be taken away by, say, changing economic winds or social trends.
It's a much more holistic view of achievement then. The lessons aren't just promising, external wealth or power as the main goal.
Yeah.
It's more about this profound inner cultivation that makes any external achievement sustainable and, crucially, meaningful.
Exactly. And this framework is specifically useful for you, the curious learner, because it doesn't just leave these concepts vague. It offers clear, specific steps towards these 4 goals.
Right, the 1,080 lessons.
All packaged into those actionable couplets. It gives you the mechanism for profound internal change without needing you to, read an entire philosophical library first.
This has been a genuinely fascinating deep dive. It's ancient wisdom that somehow feels engineered for the 21st century's need for focus. So, just to quickly recap, we explored the Thirukkural, a 2,000-year-old Tamil ethical guide, structured as 1,080 bite-sized couplets, delivered in direct, modern language. And it functions as this integrated moral compass, addressing everything from character and discipline right through to leadership and justice.
So what does this all mean? I think the most profound takeaway is this concept of universal principles versus just changing context.
Yeah.
The fact that a guide crafted 2 millennia ago talking about things like character and justice is presented today as a solution for problems in our fast-changing, tech-driven world. Well, it suggests one undeniable truth.
Which is?
The fundamental definition of success, of good living, it remains constant. While the tools of society change rapidly, the principles for navigating that society ethically, They don't seem to.
That realization actually simplifies things quite a lot. The core challenge isn't learning new rules every 6 months. It's mastering these few, enduring rules of character and ethical action.
Indeed. It puts the onus right back on that internal work.
So, as you contemplate this comprehensive approach to life and achievement, maybe consider this provocative closing thought for the road. Given that the ultimate goal is meaningful success, and knowing that ethical living has to come first,
Right, the foundation.
which of the other categories we talked about? Mental clarity, emotional resilience, or maybe those practical areas like leadership, discipline, and justice. Which one would you dive into first to really solidify that ethical foundation? Maybe start digging into those couplets. We'll see you on the next deep dive.